Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. Last night was WWE's No Way Out pay-per-view. A pay-per-view I used to like as a kid, well, as a teenager. You always bought, pretty good matches, since that used to be the pay-per-view that was before WrestleMania. Now, this one, I can say that this pay-per-view was kind of half and half of the good and the bad. I will be doing a lot more ranting in this probably than reviewing. I'm not even going to talk about the whole pre-show between David Otunga and Brutus Clay. I'm pretty sure Brutus won, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But I will talk about this. The first match on the card was Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler for the World Heavyweight title. Now, if anyone actually seen, excuse me, I'm kind of phlegmy today. If anyone's seen my WWE State of Address rants, I think I mentioned how world title matches, no matter how crappy the talent are that is in them, should never be the first match on a card. Never. So, I'll get to that in a moment. But the following match was the tuxedo match between Santino Marella and Ricardo Rodriguez. There's a couple things here that I really can go off the handle about. First off, this is a fucking pay-per-view. It is a pay-per-view. First off, Santino Marella is the United States champion. How many times has he defended the belt since he won it? I don't know. At a pay-per-view, I know WWE doesn't do face versus face matches because, of course, they'll draw money, and WWE doesn't want to put on matches that can actually be good. They rather promote punches that's filled with axe handles, knee kicks, and clotheslines, and neck breakers. And the fact of the matter is that this is a pay-per-view. You have a U.S. champion against who can't wrestle, by the way, and I don't know how much he draws, if any, against a guy who's not a contracted competitor. And why the hell would you put this on a pay-per-view instead of a U.S. title match? And not only that, you put this on after a World Heavyweight title match. This match should have been the fucking pre-show. I'd rather have seen I really didn't want to see, but I'd rather see a Brutus Clay David Otunga match after, not in a pre-show. This should be a fucking pre-show. It was made so bad as how those crappy-ass commentators, who are mostly on the fault of Michael Cole, actually went through the history of other tuxedo matches in the WWE involving, managers and ring announcers and stuff like that. First off, WWE's fan base isn't old enough to even recollect what went on in 1999. And Lord knows WWE isn't going to release any DVDs of 1999 because, of course, that was probably WWE's best year. One of their best years, as far as I'm concerned. And not only can WWE suck at making storylines this day and age, they don't know how to chronologically list matches on a pay-per-view card. Why did enough? And then you figure how you have people paying $49.99 plus tax, and here in Pennsylvania is 8 cents on the dollar. And I'm not even going to sit here and pull out my calculator, but it's a pretty penny. What is $49.99 is going to cost you close to $60. So that's why people don't buy pay-per-view. That's why people be complaining why it's too many. I would hate to see this. I would hate to pay my hard-earned money to see this shit. And this is not the only thing. I know I'm not going in perfect order of the matches. I'm not for this pay-per-view. I'm not going to do that. There are some things on here that like that tuxedo match, had absolutely, positively no reason on being on a pay-per-view card. First off, Ryback goes up against two jobbers from Philadelphia. Why? They're not doing it, and the word on the street is that people don't want to work with Ryback because he's a little too rough, he's a little too real. That just goes to show how realistic he is in his written ring work. And why the fuck would you put that? First off, that's another thing that should never be on a pay-per-view. A squash match. That shit belongs on Superstars, if that still exists. Or that shit belongs in pre-shows or Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. Those should never be at a pay-per-view. Ever. Hunico and Sin Cara. Y'all know me. I'm not a huge fan of Lucha Libre style. I don't have anything against it, but it's not something that, I will run out and want to see every time it comes to town. But I must say that match was a lot better than any. Sorry, it's early. Than any other Sin Cara match I've seen. It was actually a pretty decent match compared to the other bullshit they have him do. It was sure a lot better than seeing a job or a tuxedo match. Then we go on to the actual stuff. Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler. Everyone knows that I'm not a fan of Dolph Ziggler in any way, shape, or form. I'm not coming at him for his in-ring work because he's pretty good in the ring. I'm just coming at him because he's not a serious dude. Like, I know WWE is going to put a title on him before the year 2012 is over. But to me, he's just not. Sheamus used to be that type of guy who you just couldn't take seriously. Sheamus is coming into his own, thank God. Because he actually does have some shred of talent. But Dolph Ziggler as a world champion, I don't think could get over it all. I really don't think so. First off, Vicky's there, and she hasn't contributed anything to the wrestling business, especially in the WWE. She's an annoying manager. Dolph Ziggler as a champ, of course, would not be taken seriously. He'd be just along the lines of Mark Henry, Alberto Del Rio, and many others that have held the world title over the last couple of years. I know he's probably going to win Money in the Bank next month. More than likely. And I hope he cashes it in as a world title and not because, I don't want CM Punk to go out like that. He's done too much as WWE champion for the business because right now the only hot thing that's keeping WWE totally out of obscurity is Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. And it's good seeing as how, how far they have come to get to this point. The match between Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler was a pretty good match, I must say. But it was better than Dolph Ziggler versus CM Punk. It was this match, Dolph Ziggler, they made it so, but the sense of urgency was there, but but it was something that you really couldn't take seriously. Even if Dolph Ziggler would have pulled it out, it seems that it's just, the World Heavyweight title has fell into, it's just not interesting anymore. You're talking the oldest championship in the histories. And it's just rendered totally fucking pointless from what it used to be. The caliber of champions is just shit. The quality of challengers is just shit. The match was okay, but that's enough on that. I already talked about the tuxedo match. You have the Intercontinental title match between Christian and Cody Rhodes. I'm glad that they're doing at least something with the Intercontinental title, unlike what they're doing to the U.S. title, because the U.S. title is just, it used to be something that's good to watch, and now it's just, yeah, who the fuck cares? The casual fan wouldn't even know the United States title even existed. At least you have two good wrestlers and two good contenders. The only thing I can say about this, the match is really entertaining to watch. Very entertaining. Cody Rhodes is getting better with each passing day. Christian wrestles, unlike most guys his age, Christian does not wrestle like a guy his age. Christian wrestles like a guy Cody's age. And that's very good to say. And you figure the Intercontinental title is for Christian, it's just a consolation prize. Because, of course, like I said before, you can't never have face versus face. So Christian will probably never get another opportunity to be world champion for real, which he should be competing for each and every single day. I think that him and Sheamus can match up good if they let it work. You know, you don't... But see, you can't have good matches and good matchup like that because of the prepubescent, snotty-nosed little kids and their ignorant mothers that WWE and soccer moms that WWE prostituted the product to, hoard the product to for many, many years, where it has totally destroyed every bit of having a good face versus face match, period. You have a fatal 4-way tag team title match between the Usos, Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd, Primo and Epico, and Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, who ended up winning this match, by the way. It seems that WWE is trying to revamp their tag team division, which is not a bad thing, because Lord knows they really need to do it. I believe that's Abraham Washington is AW, and he screwed over Primo and Epico, because ever since he got a hold of Primo and Epico, he's been pretty much dragging them through the garbage, like they weren't already to begin with. And he ended up, it's the same thing. Black guy turns on the Spanish guys to get with the other black guys. Yeah, very stereotypical WWE. And now Darren Young and Titus O'Neil are going to get a tag team title match against two other African-American dudes who really shouldn't be tag teaming to begin with, and Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. They really shouldn't be doing that to begin with. But there's the rub. This match was okay. It was probably one of the better Fatal 4-Way tag matches. And we have a Divas match between Layla and Beth Phoenix. Layla managed to hold on again to retain the women's title. These are some Divas matches I don't mind paying attention to, because Beth Phoenix and Layla are actual pretty good female wrestlers. They are a cut above all the rest of them, because everybody else on the roster are gymnasts, swimsuit, lingerie models. Yes, that was another shitfest by Mr. John Laurinaitis. And of course he loses the match to that night. You know, I'm not even getting into that match yet. But I wish it wasn't kayfabe. I wish he really did get fired from that job, because Lord knows John Laurinaitis hasn't found any good talent that draws money since he got there. I'm pretty sure people are, busting down doors and paying their hard-earned cash for Great Khali or Ryback or fucking Darren Young and Titus O'Neil and Sin Cara, for that matter. Because I know Sin Cara and Alberto Del Rio are just there to prostitute their product to the Puerto Rican Latino fan base that disappeared when Eddie disappeared. But the Divas match was okay. It was a lot better. I can actually rate it a 3 because it's a lot better than most. Then we have Hunico and Sin Cara, I already talked about. We had a triple threat match between Kane, CM Punk, and Daniel Bryan. This match was pretty good. It was awesome, I should say. The match worked very, very well, even though they put Kane in there. The AJ thing is getting on my fucking nerves. It really is. But I have to say that WWE needs to do more Fatal 4-Way triple threat matches for titles. If you don't want to give people face versus face matches, have two faces and two heels. The same, like what I was saying with the Dolph Ziggler thing. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler, Great Khali, Jack Swagger, and Christian in a match. Why the hell would you have those guys in a match knowing full well that Dolph Ziggler's going to win? Why? I mean, Great Khali never drew a fucking dime in the WWE. Christian's already Intercontinental Champ. Jack Swagger never drew a fucking dime, ever, in the WWE. He's a former world champion. He's never drew a damn dime. So, this match worked pretty well. AJ got knocked off the apron. It seems that her and Punk are in cahoots to sabotage Kane and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan disappeared the last 6 minutes of this match. So he was pretty much non-existent when it comes to breaking up pinfalls or anything of that nature. CM Punk has been WWE Champion since November. He's had a long title reign. He's finally becoming that star that they can build the company around. Thank goodness, because the whole Cena-Orton thing was getting to be very, very fucking shitty. I already talked about the Ryback stuff. I'm not going to go into that. Then we have the cage match between Cena and Big Show. Must I say, clusterfuck of shit ass. I'm not even going to talk about this. I already mentioned John Laurinaitis and Big Show lost. Vince fired him, so gladly he's not an on-air personality anymore. John Cena still wins a fucking match. It is such a shame. Besides, Big Show, like Vince said, Big Show hasn't drawn a dime since 1999. I can believe it. Outside of the tag team with Chris Jericho, Big Show never drew a fucking dime in a long, long time. And it's just they just have nothing to do for John Cena. As long as he's not walking around with 1,000 WWE title reigns, I'm fine with that. Then you have Brutus Clay comes down, I don't know if Big Show attacked Brutus Clay early on, because Lord knows I don't watch Raw as frequently as I do. This match was a throwaway. This match was on par with the job match, the Honico Sin Cara match, and the Tuxedo match. It was just as bad and just as shitty as all those. That match should have been on the fucking WWE pay-per-view pre-show. But this match, this pay-per-view was outside of the main event, was outside of the Intercontinental title, the World title, and the WWE title. There's nothing really to write home about this pay-per-view. I give it an 8 because those matches really had me glued to the edge of my seat. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Divas match was actually better than the fucking cage match. It was better than the fucking job match. It was better than the fucking tuxedo match. So, yeah. I'll see y'all at Money in the Bank, but I'll probably do some rants about John Laurinaitis. I said I was going to do this, but it's not really any point, because I've mentioned him before. I could talk about TNA, but nobody will watch. I'm pretty sure there probably more people. Now, I have very, very low video views, but I'm pretty sure if I did a rant on TNA, that'd probably get more views than TNA's pay-per-view. Or it'll probably be rated higher than TNA Impact. But this is Tough Tony. I'm signing off. I'm sorry about my monotone here. I seem like I'm very, very bored. Because I am with this. I'm very, very bored. But then I'm signing off. Have a nice day. And, God bless.